cannot get over that he just
Oh, love that.
did you ask for that? I'm genuinely curious.
No.
No? No? Okay, well, yeah, I genuinely love
I
it.
like it, our voice guy. He'll just go on a tangent.
Our voice guy's fantastic.
He also gave me a Heyman clip that I need to put on the hotkey soon.
Yes, please.
He did his best
Did he really?
Heyman.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Welcome back to the Early Bird Special. Apologies for those of you who watch on YouTube and Twitch. I've fixed the YouTube. Apparently, we were not live on YouTube, or at least when the show started. We are live now. I double-checked and got it all fixed up. I apologize for that. But our streaming system apparently did not want to play YouTube today. I was able
We had
to
a
fix
listener
that.
asking if we're ever going to do Facebook Live.
You know, there was an option for that when we originally started, and that's what makes this weird, because the system I use, full disclosure, is called Lightstream. If anybody knows of a better one, please reach out, let us know. It used to let me do Facebook Live, because when we were doing our
Podcast.
the podcast with the PLE live views and stuff like that with the fans, that it allowed us to go on Facebook Live as well. It no longer allows that. Maybe Meta has updated their services and no longer allow that kind of a thing. I don't know, but for some reason it won't let me go Facebook Live anymore.
Well, we'll get to a couple Bengals fans that text in. The first one says Trey is turning down $16 million this year, but I understand as a Bengals fan, I hope he comes back and maybe just skips camp and shows up. Shamar will not be a Bengals player this year.
No.
And listen to this guy when he talks live. He shouldn't be talking to the media.
I mean, again, I agree with you on both of those takes. The $16 million is chump change, though, when you really look at what he should be making. And again, I say that number is anywhere between 35 and 37 and a half.
Yeah, he's getting half.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of ridiculous to go into a $16 million contract when you know you're worth double that. And unfortunately, the Shamar Stewart stuff, yeah, this may be the first case. I mean, sports is full of firsts. Don't get me wrong, and we've seen plenty of them in the last decade. But this may be a first that we may see a first overall or first round draft pick, I should say, go back and have to reclassify in the next year's draft. I've never seen this done before, so we'll see how it works out.
And another Cincy fan says the Bengals always do their players bad. I remember the same thing happened with Ocho Cinco and why he left in his prime, but never was good anywhere else. Just my opinion.
Well,
go Bengals.
110% he was never good. That's what I was actually going to bring up. Do you really think that was his prime at that point? I think that he was kind of on the outskirts when he went to New England and all the other teams.
Miami.
Man,
didn't even make the Miami team.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he did not do well. So I wouldn't necessarily say you guys lost out on his prime. I think you guys got his prime along with TJ Houshmandzadeh's prime as well. And then it just, they wanted more money and you guys weren't willing to pay it. I think that you could say the same thing about Ray Maluga, though. I love watching Ray Maluga when he played for Cincinnati, and then he wanted that last contract. They wouldn't pay it to him, and he just fizzled out after that. So it's unfortunate, but these things happen in football. We have any other text messages?
They're wrestling and baseball, but the other one says, any update on when Liv is coming back, which we can talk with KG about that. The other one says, how about them Dodgers? And I didn't get to catch the game. Does anyone know how Ohtani did at the mound?
I could look that up for you right now. Liv Morgan, from what I understand, is going to be out for at least another month or two, but I could be wrong. These things, especially in wrestling, are kind of skewed because they don't really want you to know when the real return date is, especially when you're having a really good story brewing right now in terms of the Judgment Day and how they're going to be going. So I would say don't expect Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, maybe at Clash at Paris. I could definitely see her having a return at Clash at Paris or Clash in Paris, whatever it's called. But I am not 100% sure in terms of have you heard anything else, Spark?
No, not really. Not with her. And I think it'll be one of those surprise things when she comes back and gets her her interference with, I'm starting to think it's her out of the Judgment Day, and it's just going to stir up some more drama with the girls. And
you know what? But I agree with you. And I was going to get into this with KG, and we will in a couple minutes. But After watching a little bit of yesterday's episode of Raw, it kind of makes me think that our original thought of the whole AJ Styles and the Bullet Club being reformed in the WWE is going to happen. But we'll get to that.
I don't know what the Bullet Club is, so
well, you're about to find out from what I can tell. As far as you Dodger fans, you won 5-2 yesterday against the Twins. Shohei went 3 innings, giving up 4 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 3 Ks. His ERA is currently at 1.5, but still 3 innings, not exactly what you want from the superstar pitcher. You'll most likely get up to about 5 here in the next month, though, I would assume. I know Dave wants to up those numbers a lot. Dustin May was the one who came in and actually got the win for you, though. We have to take a break, pay some bills. On the other side, our guy 24KG will be joining us, talk all things wrestling. This is the Early Bird Special on 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. ESPN Bakersfield. And go watch us on YouTube now. I promise we're there. We're live. I'm not kidding. Welcome back. This is the early bird special, hour 2. And it is time to get into our wrestling recap. We're still awaiting our friend 24KG on the video stream. He's updating something on his computer.
Well, that will bring up a question. Said I also heard that Hulk Hogan can't talk.
Oh,
He
well,
lost his. He can't
this
talk
is
after the
something
surgery.
I've heard. Yes, he's apparently recovering from surgery, and now he has lost his vocal. I'm not 100% sure if it's a permanent thing, but I have heard that. Um, lo and behold, God gave us a little gift and took Terry's voice away because God, I hate hearing that man talk now. I'm sorry. After hearing everything that that dude is now, like the racism and all that type of stuff, I'm out. I'm so out. I was never a huge Hulk Hogan guy to begin with. Like, I guess I kind of understood it just because he was the, the first big professional wrestler. So I kind of understand, but I never really got the whole Hulkamania and all that type of stuff. Never been a huge fan. Never been a huge fan of Hulk Hogan. So I'd have no pity for the man. But I mean, I hope he recovers well, as I hope for everybody, and hopefully it's not a permanent thing because that could be pretty dang scary, I suppose. Let's talk about what we got into on Raw last night, though. I mean, I know we're waiting for our guy KG, who will be with us any minute here. But Sparky, what did you think? I mean, I personally can't wait for SummerSlam. They got, I think, the majority of the card figured out. We still are awaiting a U.S. Women's Championship match for Julia. But for the vast majority of it, we have our championship matches lined up. Do you have one that you're excited about here going forward into SummerSlam?
Not Jelly Roll. I'm
Honestly,
looking forward to seeing Dom back in, and I was personally glad to see him not run and hide after last night. After his
the AJ Styles thing, though, has gotten really funny, right? The disguises that we've seen him jump into, the fake doctor to run down there at ringside. The janitor was great, and like it's very cartoony. And I think that's kind of what you're getting with Dom's run as the Intercontinental Champion here, is that you're getting that humor that we've kind of been missing in a lot of these other storylines. Because I mean, you see the storyline going on with Roman and Seth's group and all the seriousness around that and the injuries and stuff. You need some lightheartedness in this. And I think Dom is the perfect wrestler to do that, because not only is he a skilled wrestler, but he's very funny, much like Solo, who you'll get a lot of that as well. But I think Dom just is a great guy that you can throw into these comedic situations, especially the cartoon Looney Tunes like situations. And he really just excels, because, I mean, look how fast he bolted out of the stadium when he realized that AJ Styles was the doctor trying to help him yesterday and give him CPR.
What is all the hate with Gunther?
What do you mean? In what terms?
Like
just the
I
hatred
know
from the
some
fans?
people don't like him, but was it just that crowd last night, or to the fact that they were booing him where he couldn't talk?
So I think it's just starting to grow that Gunther is a really, really good bad guy and is by himself. And
Probably why I like him.
I agree with you, but it is the persona evolving, and them. I think the fans really just saw the championship change from Jay to Gunther as, like, I guess Goldberg needed some sort of gold to go after. You know what I mean? And Goldberg wasn't about to wrestle Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Jey Uso would have been a great opponent for Goldberg. I think Gunther was a better choice. So obviously you need Gunther to go after something.
And it's a better match with him and CM Punk, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But
maybe that's the only way I see CM Punk getting a title.
Yeah, because again, one of my main rules in wrestling, right? Face versus face does not work. It doesn't. I'm sorry. Like, it's very rare when it works. Your Rock versus Stone Colds, even those weren't really face versus faces, because Stone Cold or The Rock were a bad guy usually during those. Now, you may have been a fan favorite bad guy like your Rhea Ripley's, but it's still a bad guy. But in this case, obviously, I think you're right. Like, putting Jey Uso against CM Punk wouldn't work. So you needed a bad guy for Punk to go up against, so Punk can get his title, and then we can continue that story and finally get him to Mania and as a WrestleMania or as a champion of wrestling instead of just a contender. But I think the hatred for Gunther is coming around the fact that the fans, now that the whole Goldberg thing is over, they're going back to, okay, we don't like you. Like, we never liked you. The only reason we liked you is because we wanted to see you beat up the old guy.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to
a fan favorite.
Exactly.
with
I need
CM.
CM Punk with the I need CM Punk with the belt. I need Jey Uso getting another shot, because that's what I heard last night. The most was they kept chanting, "You choked," or "You got
You
choked
tapped
out.
out, yeah.
You tapped out." They keep referencing the Jey Uso loss. So I think that's more what it is, that they're just coming back to the whole, "You're a heel, we don't like you." And honestly, I think all heels at this point, Dom has set a absolute incredible standard that all heels have to be, getting booed out of the stadium. Otherwise, you're not doing your job right. He has finally joined us, our
I
friend.
will say Gunther did kill it with the mic last night.
Yes, he did, as he usually does. He's actually very good on the microphone. KG has joined us.
Yellow, good sirs.
How are you?
Doing great this Tuesday morning. And the IWC community is kind of asunder for the build, or some would say lack thereof, leading to our next SummerSlam event. How you guys feeling about it?
See, I'm happy you brought that up, because the first thing that we brought up was how we were feeling about SummerSlam. I personally am happy with it. We have the majority of the card, I feel, built, at least for day one and half of day two. But personally, outside of the Jelly Roll match, I think each and every one of them have some sort of quality that are going to bring a great thing to SummerSlam this year.
Well, I would have to agree with you in those parts, and not to nitpick like most people would in this wrestling community that we discuss online. I think what we're seeing is, because it's our first two-night SummerSlam build, that leading into this, they're going to put the full capabilities of the WWE media machine behind it. Thus, as far as celebrity guest interactions, high quality matches, flushing out feuds, starting new storylines, and hopefully we can see more screen time from my boy Karrion Kross, because after last night, they put on one hell of a show.
And finally, he gets a win on television.
With a little help from a pipe, but
I mean,
Hey,
I love it. I love
bad
it.
guy needs to be a
I
bad
love
guy.
the bad guys. So,
although I
Yeah.
am going to echo something that I've seen from one of my favorite wrestling talking heads on the internet, Santi, from if you follow him, he's a great Instagram wrestling guy. He brings up a really good point that the WWE is kind of getting lazy with a lot of these storylines, that we're seeing way too many faces with rib injuries,
Oh,
knee
yeah.
injuries going into these matches, like old school. When are we going to get, why do we need to dumb down some of these faces so much instead of just allowing the heel to be a bigger star? You know
Well,
what I mean?
I think what happens is, sometimes you have a face pushed on the crowd, as we've seen over the years, and they regurgitate it back. They
Mhm.
sense the push. They don't like the push. They want it to organically happen. And it's rare that you see organic face turns happen. Somebody could start off as a heel, much like Karrion Kross, and become so beloved by the fans for what they put into their character that they become a tweener, which leads them to not a hard face turn, but because they haven't changed their character, the fan just gets behind it so much that you look at them or feel as if they are a face, but they have not changed anything that their on-screen character is doing, much like Karrion Kross. And now the fans were chanting, "We want Cross" last night.
Mhm.
I'm mad that they snuffed his entrance.
I mean, yeah, but at this point, I don't think we could say that anymore, because we have to remember, in America, they get snuffed. Everywhere else, they don't.
Yeah,
The
but
only reason they get snuffed for us is because America has to sell some advertisement.
now, nonetheless, that's still important for building this guy's future
yes.
fan base. Because
That's fair.
that's one hell of an entrance,
Oh,
and
it
it's
is.
and until we get, like maybe a picture in picture type of
Mhm.
thing of like, hey, we're running the ads and we still get to show you what's happening live, which
Yes.
will retain more viewership in the long run, which I can see WWE
Well,
eventually getting to.
they
Um,
do that on actual television. On SmackDown, if you watch it, they'll
yes,
do it that way, and
The picture in
NXT.
picture.
yes, but
Netflix has yet to actually do.
exactly. They've got to negotiate something else out there. But let's go ahead and get into Raw just off the rip, man. CM Punk and Gunther's promo exchange. How do you guys feel about that?
So we were literally just talking about that before you came in.
My
Mhm.
my thing is why all the hate on Gunther? I mean, Gunther is one of the things, but it'll bounce back to what you were just saying about the heels, getting the hate, and until the point that they want the heel to win. I'm a Gunther guy through in and throughout.
Yeah.
So you know, whether it
You
was,
cheer for the Russian during the Rocky movie, don't you?
I do,
Clearly.
because that's
If he
He-Man.
died.
So when I look at Dolph Lundgren, I think of He-Man.
True.
But
Fair.
my
Hey.
thing is I'm a Gunther guy. I'm not a CM Punk fan. I've said it over and over. But yeah, I mean, I was just surprised all the hate against him last night.
Well, you've got the Yeet Army still sore about him, taking that strap off of Jey Uso. But storyline wise, it does make sense for what we just seen happen with Goldberg and his quote unquote retirement match, which I don't think is really going to stick because the way he's complaining, we might see him do a one off in AEW.
That's what I
Don't
keep
be,
hearing.
yeah, don't be shocked about that, folks, if you do. But nonetheless, I would have to say that Gunther is a victim of his own success. The man can not have a bad match. You could put him in a match with a wet pillow and he's going to chop the crap out of that pillow. And you're probably going to be like, damn, that's crazy, man. You're going to be
Pillow.
entertained. Yeah, he's putting the pillow to sleep, folks. I'm just saying. The man can't do wrong in the ring, but being a victim of your own success in that matter, which we've illustrated over with certain examples over, the course of WWE, people that are just so good at their job that the fans are just, yeah, well, we knew that was going to happen. Well, that's where you get Paul and the team to come in there and shake something up. Now, we discussed about Seth Rollins' potential injury being a work, and more as the weeks go on,
It's not.
people are speculating that, oh yeah, this and that. Now, if it's legit, which I tend to still think it's legit, but if I'm being worked, I'm along for the ride because man, you guys are giving me some good television right now with the discussion points of notice that if CM Punk wins this match at SummerSlam, we still have Seth Rollins that can make an immediate return and cash in and thus fulfill what he's always said. As long as I'm breathing, CM Punk will not be a champion in WWE, which I'm excited to see if it plays out, that way.
I don't know, dude, because again, he addressed it on the Rich Eisen show when he was hosting.
That was also the same weekend where we saw Jelly Roll,
Oh yeah,
put something through a table.
That's very true.
I think the injury is real, but I just don't think the extension of the injury.
Yeah.
The severity. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he'll be back earlier than
He's
what we
lying,
think.
but he's not lying.
Exactly.
Kind of a thing. Like I can agree with. Maybe
They're ribbing us.
Yeah, he extended it a little bit because I mean, honestly, bringing up the point of what's the easiest injury to fake, but for those of you who watched TNA Slammiversary over the weekend, Trick Williams faked a knee injury and won the championship back. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the WWE just threw it back in our face and showed us, hey, we could be lying to you and you don't even know it.
And you'll still love us and watch the product for it. Like
I will say it's a promo that they put out for that new show that's starting next Tuesday.
Yes.
Unreal.
That looked fake.
It honestly kind of did.
That looked like a promo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on. Don't use this.
They're going to blur the line as much as they possibly can until that show comes out, because I do believe they're going to, pull the curtain.
We'll see some real stuff.
I think Triple H is the master of that, most definitely.
Yes.
100%. Before we move on to the next thing, though, I got to bring up, because I've had a couple people reach out to me about this, and I got to get your thoughts on this, KG. But we have seen this partnership between WWE and TNA for the last couple months, specifically between WWE's feeder system of NXT and all of TNA's superstars or wrestling stars or whatever they end up calling themselves now. Do you think that TNA is actually gaining anything from this? Because everything I keep seeing, their champions are losing every time. Their wrestlers aren't really shown on WWE television outside of like the main guys, like the main 2 or 3. And even then, it's for like maybe an episode. Joe Hendry is the only one that's been on NXT extensively. And that is one that they have been very vocal about wanting to sign and take away from TNA the minute his contract is up.
All right. I hear you. I feel you. Let me just throw some things out into the universe on that situation. From my point of view, this benefits WWE nothing at all. I say that because think about what they're doing. If the rumors are true about TNA becoming a feeder system and being bought by WWE within the future, all these things make perfect sense because you can't add another show on your current networks. So you go to a show that already has Showtime on a network. You
Right.
partner with them, you exchange talent, but really you're building the brand that you're guest starring on. Now, these moves where we're seeing these NXT, these WWE superstars hold TNA titles, that's not a WWE decision. That's a TNA writing decision. They are saying we want these guys to hold our brand's belts, thus giving our brand visibility wherever else they may be, where our wrestlers cannot be visible at that time. I do understand it in a business sense, because really, if WWE wanted to be the monster that everybody knows they are, they could have just said, how much, double it again, and TNA would be NXT 3.0.
True.
Seriously. So to keep everything on brand, I think it benefits TNA entirely for WWE's future acquisition or procurement of talent for their roster. That's the
I
only way.
see, but that's what I'm saying, is that how does this benefit TNA at all? Because all this seems to me is it's like a poaching system for the WWE, or like you said, this is just TNA's tryout period to beat NXT 2.0 or 3.0, I guess, like you said.
Literally, and if it, let's just say it doesn't go that way contractually. Nonetheless, the brand partnership has ambassadored TNA into the WWE homes and audiences of fans that have been there with that company for 30 years. Now people are just now finding out that AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, they had previous careers in TNA that were phenomenal, pun intended, you know what I mean, to watch, literally. So when you get to that aspect and ratio of them including TNA's history with current WWE superstars, the on-brand marriage looks great on screen.
Right.
It's just another, I'd say, an alley-oop for WWE's writing to either, take advice from or example on things like not to do or to do. What situations work with certain superstars now that they might be able to plan a stake in and revisit in the future.
Hear me out on this, and this is just me, but throwing a devil's advocate thing in here, but I kind of feel like the acquisition of TNA, if that is true, we've already seen the acquisition of AAA, which is the Lucha Libre affiliate now for the WWE. If this is a move for them, that they're just trying to essentially make another feeder system, don't you think this is more a move for that Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels are making to seriously say to AEW and everybody else, hey, we're here. The rest of y'all are here.
You're still down here.
None of you can touch us. Because all of our guys go to every other organization that we own and run it, because they've already had the tag titles from AAA taken away by Legado del Fantasma. They've had TNA titles taken away by their feeder league kids. Like, there's been no real sign that TNA has had any chance to get the vice versa. In fact, the ones that have had a chance at an NXT title now work for NXT. Jordan Grace being the only one, Joe Hendry being the next one. I'm sure Mike Santana will be on that list in due time as well, and maybe even Moose. But it just, to me, it seems like this is Triple H and Shawn Michaels looking at the entire cast of all the competition and saying, we're putting you guys down here.
Well, you could look at it like that, or you could look at it like this, for the simple fact that TNA literally has just set up their redemption story for their next pay-per-view. All of our titles are gone. We've been invaded, invasion angle. We're taking a string from that. We're threading that right through there. Basically, to put every single one of our TNA guys, once those titles are recaptured and reincorporated into the company, overnight, literally just like that. So look at Mike Santana and Joe Hendry not being able to recapture their world title for TNA. That just elevates Trick. Literally, he's a legit brand world champion in NXT and hasn't even hit the main roster. Nobody's done that. So we look at the aspect of those kind of things that'll elevate a superstar's potential growth for fan base exposure once we get those titles off of the Trick Williams and the JC Janes and all those guys right there. We're going to see who is tough enough, you like that one, huh? To literally come in there and knock off these WWE guys who are established already.
So do you think that in doing that, if the story goes the way you're thinking it goes, and we get the redemption story for TNA here coming in probably the next month or two, right after SummerSlam, and I assume this is going to be an invasion storyline because that's the only thing that I can think of.
That's the way it's looking.
I was literally thinking the exact same thing while watching Slammiversary on Sunday. I was like, there's the only way I could see this ending is all of TNA getting a massive team together, the Hardys, the Nemeths, all the best of the best that they have,
putting their differences aside.
Yeah, and they just run roughshod through NXT and steal everything back, including the stuff that they want, maybe the Heritage Cup and all these other not really huge championships from NXT that can leave and go to other organizations and stay as a mainstay there.
Do you see no Hardy return to the WWE?
Oh, I would love that,
because I know they talked about it earlier.
They already kind of did it though. I don't think you're going to get the same pop you got at WrestleMania a couple years ago during that ladder match. It's just it's kind of done.
I think it's gonna happen, but the way it should happen in a perfect world, which we know we don't live in, Edge and Christian's contract in A&W and AEW are about to come up. Like next year. You know
I know
what
where you're going with this. And the Dudleys are back too, and
we're not going to be able to wait.
We're not running back the triple threat.
I'd rather see.
We're not going to. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get that triple threat that we would like to see for nostalgic purposes this year or even next year. By the time it comes around, I think everybody will be like fully retired.
No. Hear me out on this.
I can see it. We didn't want to see Goldberg either, but
but nostalgia is one hell of a drug, and they'll make a lot of money off of it if it goes down, because TNA is already teasing the Dudleys versus the Hardys one more time.
No, I get that, but here's my thing though. You're not going to get the triple threat again because we already saw something similar to that when DX went up against the Brothers of Destruction.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
No one wants to see 2 or 3 tag that are all retired or aging out go up against each other. It's not the same.
The last part, we only got a few minutes left.
Seriously.
So going back to Raw,
go on YouTube and watch that match, Brothers of Destruction, DX, Saudi Arabia. It was one of the worst. It was like watching your drunk uncles fight in the garage. It was bad.
Quick rundown real quick, though. Do you think that this entire redemption storyline for TNA will bolster them to be higher in the ratings than maybe AEW?
It's looking like it. And AEW's putting out some good product. Now, look, y'all know I'm notoriously known for being bad on AEW, but I'm also critical about WWE when they ain't got good storylines. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now. AEW is starting to cook, and because of some of the things that WWE is doing, it's giving fans a reason to tune in and just see what the alternative product has, which is going to grow and more following when people are talking about it like how we're doing right now.
It's going to take a little bit more for me.
It's going to take a crap ton more.
Just a couple weeks ago, y'all were telling me AEW was trash and it was unwatchable.
Oh no, it still is. It still is in some degree.
But my going back to Raw, do you think this LWO?
LWO.
You think this LWO push is going to get them some tag titles?
They need.
No, I just think that they needed to show some life in the tag division, especially as how New Day is really still at the forefront, harping on what they lost. You got Judgment Day holding it down. The Raw tag division needs a little bit more polishing than the SmackDown one right now, and really more TV time. They need to be more visible in what they can do, and they showed that last night, which was one hell of a match from the LWO. Seeing them go up against Judgment Day, I think we have a workhorse versus workhorse match with these teams. We're going to get some good wrestling as far as what we're going to see these guys be able to do that they haven't been able to showcase in a while with certain opponents. We've been seeing the War Raiders versus Judgment Day for a while. You know,
that's happened to the War Raiders.
I think they're just getting some time off, maybe relegated to main event right now. They went through one hell of a season leading up to that loss because they came back from injury. They put their bodies on the line. These are 300-pound men doing aerial moves like a gymnast that you shouldn't be able to do in the laws of physics. So shout out to them. But most definitely, I want to harp on something before we get out of here. The Sheamus and Rusev build on what it's looking like it's going to be. They're 1-1 right now. That's, as Jim Ross would say, that's the slobber knocker. So it's looking pretty good. But also, color on TV, which we haven't really seen a lot of on Raw. Karrion Kross got busted open last night during that match and leaned into it so well after his
Rubbing it
win.
into his face was
Oh my, kissing his wife and blood all over their faces. Like, man, this is the top-notch WWE TV wrestling I grew up on. You know, that's the type of stuff right there that had me like, I want that guy's shirt. I want his action figure. I'm going to play him in the video game. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now, for those young sickos out there that are like, oh, my God, I can't believe this. Oh, my God. That's who you want watching your product. Literally with the guy like Karrion Kross, who's organically built from WWE. He has his, background in other affiliates and whatnot. But I really hope that this guy, via SummerSlam, gets his flowers, man. They've been really trying to act like he's not that important. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's by design, but either way, he's getting over, and I like it.
I'm telling you right now, I think it's by design because at
Chris,
first, I don't think they thought he was going to work out.
I got to ask you, and Sparky, how do you guys feel about Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande Americano Spanish? He's German, Austrian, excuse me. And he's fluent in Spanish, but he still has a German accent. This is wild.
Again,
this is culturally clashing wildness.
I've never heard a German Spanish accent, so that was a first for me. But I mean,
blew my mind, bro.
Good for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm horrible.
I wasn't huge on the El Grande storyline to begin with. This entire thing has been kind of just meh to me. But
same here.
I enjoy that they're giving him something to do. I enjoy that he's
not on the chopping block.
Yeah.
But no, the last couple minutes we have, the end of Raw.
Roman Reigns.
How do you feel?
Well, look, I'm just going to keep it real with you. This is
going to be a match at SummerSlam. We realize this. We're getting Roman and Jay against Braun and Braun.
Yeah, the Brawns. We're getting the Brawns versus the Usos in a sense, technically, but spear versus spear. Eventually, we're going to come to this Braun Breaker Roman Reigns clash. Who has the stronger spear? We seen this kind of foreshadowed in NXT back in the day when Paul Heyman went and represented Braun Breaker. We're starting to see him lean into I am the future of this with kind of a sense of egomaniac kind of just bleeding through him, which I think could affect Seth Rollins' return once he gets back into the forefront of that group. The fact that Paul's storyline had an implication of him leading this faction and Roman saying, hey, I would have done it a while ago.
Well, we kind of felt that was going to be the out with Heyman anyways.
Yeah, and Heyman, his character's a slime ball, so it was befitting of him to try to approach Roman with an offer of, hey, we can make this right or whatnot.
I love you, tribal chief. In the
hey, that took me back to a great time in wrestling.
You know what's funny though? That entire ending spear, the double spear with the two of them. Was I the only one that noticed that Jay was pointing at Roman saying, you getting him and I'm getting him? Or what?
I thought they were going to do like a crossover, like a jump.
Jay point at Braun Breaker. So I think they're going to do an X formation. And then he takes one step that way, realizes Roman's going straight and says, oh, never mind. And then taps the guy in front of him. I was
adjusting on the fly.
I just thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, wow, this was actually not meant to happen this way. That's actually pretty cool.
I think it's set up for a great SummerSlam. It's set up for a great situation that we're going to look into a little bit deeper as far as Seth Rollins' legitimacy or illegitimacy of injury. And just look out for a lot of swerves and pivots during this next week and build towards SummerSlam.
Final is that match that we just mentioned, the Jey Uso Roman Reigns versus Braun and Braun match that has yet to be announced. Is that the main event of night 1 or 2 of SummerSlam?
I would give it night 1, and of course, the John Cena,
Cody.
Well, actually,
are we getting Cody Lander too? Because that promo on Friday made me feel like we're getting Cody Lander.
I think actually Roman Reigns match might open night 2, and Cody's might close night 2, and definitely we get this Seth Rollins CM Punk thing happening maybe night 1.
Roman has main evented SummerSlam for the last decade or something like that. Like it's close. Like SummerSlam was him and Brock Lesnar's thing. So I don't know exactly.
Especially if it comes to cash-ins and stuff like that. Exactly. How is Seth Rollins going to top his most famous cash in of all,
How
the
is he
heist
going
of
to
the
top
century.
Naomi's just from a week ago?
Right.
So
And I gotta love. She's growing on me, dude. That laugh at the end
The
of yesterday's
maniacal
promo,
laugh of
I
villainy is
love it,
just,
man.
it's hilarious. I
She's got
love
that
how
laugh
hard she's
down.
leaning into it. Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. We got to take a break, though. My friend, thank you for your time. As always, we will talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys take care, man, and make sure you guys follow us on YouTube where we are streaming live every day.
And before we
Yes.
go, this was just something I wanted to bring up. Did I hear that you had a new single or an album coming out?
Yes, actually, I do. I do right now. You can go on Instagram at 24kg. That's TWENTYFOURKG, and I am rolling out some products for the end of the summer. So if you
Love it.
guys, got some tunes and you got some time, check your boy out. Thank you, appreciate it, most
Love it.
definitely.
24 kg.
Absolutely. You
Hey.
will enjoy it, I promise. We got to take a break, pay some bills. Thank you as well, my friend. As always, this is the Early Bird Special on 101.1 FM, 1230 AM, ESPN Bakersfield. Interesting interface. Roots. I can dig it. Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Big thank you to our boy 24KG for coming in and talking all things wrestling with us, as he does every Tuesday from 8 to 8:30. You can see that probably on our YouTube channel in its own little segment here in the next couple of days as well, as long as I get around to it. We got to get to a couple other stories, though, around the world of sports, including Venus Williams coming back to the world of tennis. And she actually looked good, surprisingly.
Always looks good.
I mean, well, that's in a different way. But no, on the tennis court, she looked fantastic, ended up winning her first bout. I am still skeptical she can make a full return to maybe a major form. I mean, 40-year-old athletes, as much as we love to see the stories flourish, and I think she, like her sister, could be two of the athletes that actually pull this off. I'm not doubting that she can do this, but I mean, it takes a special kind of athlete to really pull this off. You're LeBron James. LeBron just turned 40, and we're already talking about him potentially retiring in the next 2 years. Tom Brady being one of those guys. Brett Favre, obviously playing for a god-awful long time that probably should never have happened. There are certain situations where these people could pull it off and be as good as they were in the past. Can Venus continue to do it? I'm not sure. I don't know. How do you feel about this, Spark?
I'm in the same boat. I know a lot of tennis players that say it is one of the hardest sports to play in. I think, like you said, I think if it was any other player, I would have more doubts.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Venus and Serena are a whole different type of people, and I hope she can, because she is not only a badass but really entertaining to watch when she plays. I'm hoping that she can pull it up, but I'm always going to root for her.
Absolutely. And I mean, this was a doubles match, so obviously she had a little bit of backup. She'll have her first singles match here in the next coming days, I believe, if not a week or so. I'm just very curious how she's going to pull it off by herself. I think as a doubles team, it's a little bit easier, obviously, but as a 45-year-old athlete, I'm optimistic and hopeful she could pull it off and get back to her winning ways. She obviously is the one who set the tone for her sister. So maybe this is another situation where she sets the tone for her sister and
Team
we
it up
get
with her
Serena.
sister.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
We get Serena back too. And the Williams sisters are back for tennis, which in my personal opinion is a great thing for tennis. I would love to see the two of them on the court again at the same time. Whether it happens or not, God only knows. I mean, Serena's had a couple kids since then, so she may be completely done with tennis for all we know.
She's probably like, you fool.
I know. She's probably like, don't you Ralph Bailey me. Like,
don't even try to.
At this point, it is what it is. I would just love to see it. Talking about some old athletes that are still thriving, let's talk about Rich Hill, the pitcher for now the Kansas City Royals, who will be playing for, believe it or not, his 14th team in the majors tonight. Be his first start for the Royals. This is unprecedented territory.
21st season.
Yeehaw.
14 team.
And look, man, I don't. That's probably an exaggeration, I should say. But Rich Hill is a fantastic pitcher.
It is his 14th different major league team.
I'm more saying an exaggeration of like going back and forth with these teams, because he's been on certain teams for a certain amount of time. I mean, if you're a Dodger fan, he was with you guys, I think, for 2 seasons. But he's been a pinnacle of consistency. He's one of those guys that I continuously see in baseball get signed, and I wonder why. What does this dude do to like convince these guys to keep signing him? And then he comes up and shows you. Like, don't get me wrong, is he going to be a superstar for you? Probably not. But he will go in and fill a need for you if you need a starter to have a night off, or if you need somebody to, pitch you 4 or 5 innings, maybe. I mean, I doubt he gets a whole game out, but
he gets a pitch at Wrigley.
At Wrigley where he started too. I was like, oh God,
that's kind of cool.
Baseball is full of these stories, right? Where it's just full circle moments. This is one of those really cool ones. Do you think this is the end of it though? Because do you think he continues to bounce around and gets as many teams as humanly possible?
I would say he's probably done.
You think he's done after this?
I mean, 45-year-old pitching. I mean, that's got to be tough. And after 21 years, I mean,
well, he's tied Edwin Jackson for the most teams played for. So technically, all he has to do is play for one more team.
play
and
one
he
game.
has the record. I'd say you go back for year 22 and see if you can get that.
Is
team.
Cubs his original team?
Yeah, I believe so.
It
Yeah,
would be cool to see him end it with them.
but see, he already played. You got to go to a different team though. You got to go to like, I don't know, but come play for Philly. I know you haven't played for Philly before, so come play for Philly, or like, go play for the A's for a year or something like that. Somewhere where you're not really gonna need to put in a lot of effort to be in the rotation. Because I say you go back for. We've seen a lot of, especially aging out players come back for those records. Clayton Kershaw being one of them, coming back for 3,000 strikeouts. Ovechkin stretching out his career to get the gold title. I mean, this could be your record. I say Rich Hill comes back for year 22 and tries to chalk this up to 15, 16 teams. Let's see what we can do. I don't know. This is kind of a cool story. I think we should keep this going.
I also saw the former finals MVP for the WNBA is making a return as well. She signed yesterday with the Liberty, and 32 years old. It's obviously not 45.
No. I think 32 is much more manageable, though.
It's still tough.
Let's be honest. And coming into a league that is going to be way more lucrative than when you left it, I think has got to be another defining factor to that. Because, I mean, you're not going onto a slouch team either. We're talking about the New York Liberty here, who are one of the more studly teams in the WNBA.
But going back to baseball, what the hell happened in that Phillies game?
The catcher's interference in the 10th inning?
He laughs. So it must be the good thing.
Well, it's a good thing for the Phillies. Phillies won. No, Phillies and Red Sox ended on an extra innings catcher's interference. Catcher just reached out just enough to tip the bat of Edwin Sosa. And hey man, or Edmundo Sosa. I apologize. It works out in baseball. You can't do that. Obviously, it's an automatic. It's essentially like a balk. So I'll take a win as I can get it. I know a lot of people are up in arms about it. That's how baseball rolls sometimes, man. Sometimes you get runs without even hitting a baseball. I don't know what to tell you. And that's on the catcher for reaching out a little bit too far. But that's me as a Phillies fan. That's where I'm going to leave that one.
Well, we will take our final break of the day. We'll go over a couple of texts that we've got and wrap up this show right here on the Early Bird Special. His birthday, man. 60 years old. The Heartbreak Kid.
Still one of the best finishers
Yes.
of all wrestling. And everybody uses it like it's candy.
Yes. And one of the best entrances, I will say.
Best music. I don't know about entrance. I think
That
entrance is like,
dancing, the stretch.
right. Like that. No, don't get me wrong. That part of it is great too. But
Not,
when I think
not the booty
entrances,
shaking.
I think of like the spectacle of it.
Yeah.
Like personally, Triple H's entrance is legendary.
Yeah. I just always liked how he's stretching and the fireworks would go off in a row. But I'm an 80s kid, so.
I can't. No, I agree, and I understand. But I can't remember who it was who stopped his entrance halfway through and told him we don't got time for that. I'm talking about Triple H here. Like right as he's about to spit the water, he's like, "Hey, we don't got time for that. Get in the ring."
Get
And
in
he's
the
like,
ring.
and he just looks at him like, "Motherfucker, are you serious? Like this is my thing." Like
I liked the documentary. I think it was Steph's Places when she did it. I think it was with and she did Rhea's too, but that was cool to see. But
well,
before
Rhea hooked her up with the entire like leather jacket and all that type of stuff that looked like her getup. So that was really cool.
That's her girl.
I know. And actually, real quick too, I know you got your thing. I'm going to throw this out there. Did you know LeBron James is going to be in a music video or is in a music video?
Of who's?
Tyler the Creator.
Really?
In his most
I know his album just came out.
Yeah, his most recent music video, "Stop Effing Playing with Me," is out, and so I guess LeBron made a cameo in the entire video. So I thought that was pretty interesting. LeBron's got time to go do some music videos now. I'm telling you, dude, he's getting ready for the retirement scene. He really is. He's getting ready for the next leg of his life, which is going to be heavily into entertainment.
He's either going to stay in LA or he's going to go to Vegas.
I think he stays in LA, but he runs Vegas's team. Not runs it like a GM, but he's going to have a hand in owning that team. I can promise you that right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. Before we get into these texts, there was two miscellaneous stories I wanted to bounce off you.
Sure.
One was a Arkansas wide receiver who was a former MLB player, turned college. Will turn 30 years old on August 10th, and now he is setting up to be a wide receiver for the Razorbacks this season, which is cool for you. But
I mean,
I like against 18-year-olds. Just remember,
I like the story. I like hearing stories about this. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like you've seen it happen a couple times. Russell Wilson being a great example where he went to baseball, came back, played quarterback for Wisconsin, and then left and got drafted by the NFL. If you are athletic enough to pull it off, obviously the team thinks you're athletic enough to be on the team. So I say I'm all for it, but I'm with you. Like, yeah, you're 30 years old playing against 18-year-olds, dude. Even if you got drafted next year in the NFL, you're going to be a 31-year-old rookie.
How old is Tyler? Isn't he? He's like 26, 27?
Something like that, yeah.
And then the other one I had was the former BYU quarterback that we had talked about. They got into all the drama with the young girl and was going to be suspended. Well, he committed to a team.
Tell me who it is. Come on, give me this.
Tulane.
Okay, I mean, yeah. At least you'll be able to, have premarital sex and not get suspended.
Is that
I don't. That's why he was going to get suspended by BYU.
And he led BYU to 11-2, nearly 3,000 yards passing, and just that.
Good luck. That's all I could say. Tulane is a fantastic organization, I'm sure, but again, this was one of those stories that you just kind of hope the kid could just distance himself from the entire situation to move on with his life. Hopefully he can rebound. I know BYU to Tulane is going to be a rough turnaround for you because obviously the allure of both programs is vastly different.
Way different.
But we'll see how this all works out for him. You're definitely going to be a talking point for the first couple weeks of the season. Everyone's going to be looking at you because everyone loves these types of stories and comeback stories. So if he can turn it around, he could at least have all eyes on him and get some NFL scouts out there to look at him too. There's no reason to believe he can't.
And tomorrow we'll have somebody from Houchin Community Blood Bank to come in and tell us about how they've got a promotion going on right now.
They can take my blood?
Or you can, they could if they want.
They can take my blood on shirt?
They can take mine.
I don't know what blood type I am though.
They've got a Raiders giveaway going on right now.
Ooh.
So we'll hear more about that. If you're a Raider fan and want to win some Raider tickets, we'll let you know how. how you can do so. I'm sure it's just giving up some blood.
Absolutely. We are in a desperate need for that too. I know it's a scary thing, needles and all that, but
It's not that bad.
it's really not that bad. And you get ice cream afterwards. What's better
Good
than
ice
that?
cream too.
And it's roses. How can you not say yes to that? I mean, again, I am all for giving blood. I don't do it very often, if at all. But at this point, I highly, highly suggest everybody jump in on this train because it is something that is desperately needed, not just here in the community, but all around the United States. We do need people to give blood. It is a necessity to keep people alive.
And our final two texts is pretty much, one is bashing me, saying, keep hating on CM Punk, Sparky. But he is our next champ. Watch it, fool.
Whoa, calm down here. Look,
He's
man,
never going to be my champ.
See, you can like or hate anybody in wrestling. That's the whole point of of being a wrestling fan. That's what a face and a heel are all about. And trust me, there is no better heel on the market than CM Punk. When CM Punk is a heel, oh my good God, is he a menace to society? That's where we got the pipe bomb. So, and speaking of heel, I think we're going to, I know I lightly alluded to it, but we're getting that double heel turn or that double turn with Cody and John at SummerSlam.
You think so?
After that contract signing on Friday and him taking Cena and putting him through the table and Cena trying to play the whole, well, I can't do it because I'm shooting a movie. So you have to pick a completely different day.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Like he tried to play the sympathy card to all the fans and be like, whoa, this isn't like me being a heel. This is me being legit as a businessman. Like we're getting it. Like
he's in Superman. He's got the second season of Peacemaker coming out. There's a lot going on with Cena. And what we had talked about after we saw SmackDown here in town, where he did the whole turnaround at the end and people cheering him on, he's doing it everywhere now.
Yep.
We're starting to see everybody post these videos.
He's acknowledging it, dude.
People love him, dude. And I'll be happy to see not only Cody turn, because that is just going to be awesome. And two, it's going to be cool to see Cena back where he's getting the cheers, and I think that's where you get the best Cena.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, 110% is face Cena is the best Cena. But the reason I think we're getting the heel turn for Cody is because his demeanor and the way he acted during that promo was very much his heel persona in his AEW days.
I've never saw it. So
he's a very just bullish businessman. I'm better than you. You know it. I'm the best wrestler here, and I don't need to prove it to anybody. I'm just going to take what's mine, kind of a thing.
We had a follower on our Instagram, which you can follow, the Early Bird Special official. Send us the video of him wearing the glasses like The Rock, and I'm like, oh man, really? Yeah. Is it going to turn that way?
Nah, it's entirely possible. Solo? I think he turns solo. I genuinely do. But who knows? Maybe we do get the whole double situation where Rock comes out and says, you finally sold your soul to me.
And now he sees Cena and The Rock at the end.
Absolutely.
I could see it. The final text is, Mr. Iguana ever coming, or did that flame just fire out?
I hope it didn't fire out. I love Mr. Iguana, but honestly, the lack of promotion from WWE, I was assuming we would at least get a Iguana puppet for the fans at some point. It's entirely possible that it's starting to fade out. I think we're going to get a little bit more from AAA here in the next coming months, though, once they can actually incorporate it into the storylines and get them maybe into the PLEs a little bit more, especially since we're getting more international wrestling.
It's official. I got the text from Hop.
Ooh,
I'm in the extra league.
Yay. Fantastic. Someone else to come steal my money.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
Well, if we have
one, man, let me win another year.
If we have time tomorrow, we'll get into that fantasy question. And if not, hopefully we get some breaking news story, and we'll let you know tomorrow how you can win some Raider tickets.
Absolutely. So let's not right here at 7 to 9 a.m. But until then, we got to get out of the way for the great Rich Eisen. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. And again, go follow us on all social media at the Early Bird Special. Just go look for our little logo. We can't miss it. Sparky, let's get out of here.